Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing a quick review on the new Haus Labs blushes. I have here two different colors. I have the Dragon Fruit Daze and then the Watermelon Bliss. I also picked up this Caliray highlighter. I saw it in store, swatched it, and I was quite impressed in the formula. So we're just gonna try these on. I'll give you my thoughts, do some swatches, and that will be it. I hope you guys will enjoy it. If you're new here, welcome. Don't forget to subscribe, and let's put these on. So the Haus Labs blushes retail for $38, which I kind of feel like it's up there in price. You do get a ton of product. You get 12 grams of product, which is unnecessary almost. No, I'm sorry. 11 grams of product. On the website it said 12 grams and here it says 11 grams on the box. For example, the Gucci, you get only 5.5 grams of product and I think this is $49. So obviously it's Gucci though. You're paying for the name and the packaging. For Haus Labs, I was expecting maybe more like in the $30 range, but besides that, the packaging so far it's nice. Let's open this up. These are pretty big, which honestly for a blush, I don't love that. Look at that color. It's just like too big. For a blush, I want the smaller, the better. It takes me forever to go through a powder blush, but you know, if you just have one blush, I'm sure you're gonna go through it faster. So let's compare the Haus Labs with the packaging of the Laura Mercier, and you can see like how much bigger it is. And then let's say the Too Faced, again, it's a very big. The Gucci's kind of known for small packaging though. So you have this reflective mirror like I can see everything in here. And then this is the second color. Let me show you up close. So here we have Dragon Fruit Daze, and then on the left side we have Watermelon Bliss. I have swatched these in store and I decided to pick these colors because they're a little different than what I have. I have so many blushes. I almost skipped this release, but once I posted it online, I had so many people interested in them. So I was like, okay, I'll just pick them up. I will say I love that this has a really nice big mirror, which it ought to have because the packaging is so big. So I'm going to swatch this one first. It feels very creamy. It feels actually very, very nice. And then the watermelon one. These look very intense. So here are the two swatches. They seem to be a matte finish, but they're very, very creamy. I do think I'm gonna like the formula. So this is a talc-free powder blush and it is with fermented arnica. And let's see, it has supposedly a natural finish, powder formula. It's a clean, it helps reduce redness. Okay. And hydrating Hydra berry that melts onto skin for a second skin finish. So on this side, we're gonna go with the Watermelon Bliss. I picked up a little bit. This is an old Real Techniques brush. I'm hunting for a better blush brush because I always use it and you guys want to know, and I think they changed the shape a little bit. I'm looking for one, but I really haven't found one as good as this one. So I'm slightly scared because this looks very intimidating, but let's start here. Okay, let's take some off and then blend this out. This is very oh my goodness, it's very, very pigmented. Let's grab a clean brush. So I'm grabbing a clean brush. This is the BK Beauty Angie Hot and Flashy in A507. I'm just making sure the edges are blended. Okay, that's easy. It actually blends in really, really easily. I think the color is beautiful. It's very summery, very bright, and obviously it's very intimidating here, but once you put it on, I think it's quite beautiful. Very pigmented though, so, you know, I think it's great if you have deeper skin tone. You won't have to work so hard for a color to show up, But even if you're my skin tone, I think you can pull it off. I think the undertone's really pretty. Kind of does remind me of a watermelon, like a little brighter watermelon. So that is really pretty. And it actually blended in really nicely and smoothed out. It's very almost blurring on the skin, which I really, really like that. Ooh, I think this color is growing on me more and more. You just have to be very careful with how much you put on. But I think that's actually beautiful. Mostly for summertime, I think it's such a fresh color. Moving on to the Dragon Fruit Haze Daze. I'm trying. Everybody comments, not everybody, but a lot of you guys comments like, you need to mention the names better, or it's confusing, you always say this and that. First of all, I don't remember names. For the life of me, I cannot remember names. I kept confusing my husband's name and we were engaged. So that's hard on me. And English is my second language. So it's kind of hard sometimes to remember something that would come naturally to you guys. For me, it's like, wait, what was that word? Anyway, so I'm trying. I'm doing better. Okay, let's try this one on this. Oh, okay. This is not as intense. This is much more manageable than the other side. It's not quite as pigmented. If I have dark around my eyes, it's because I stabbed myself with my mascara wand, so that's why it's dark. Okay, this is a beautiful color and it's easier to blend in, I think, than, I mean, they're both easy to blend in, but it's easier because it's not quite as pigmented from the first application. You can easily build it up. I'm gonna build it up here a little bit more. Definitely more cooler tone, more pink. I feel like I've seen a lot of brighter pinks lately, like the Too Faced, the Dior one that's kind of popular. So yeah. So I do think the formula is really beautiful and it is a very smoothing on the skin. I can definitely see that, what they're saying. I'm going to build this up just a little bit more and see how it does. Yeah, that's really, really pretty. So these are the two colors. What do you guys think? I usually would probably wear them a little lighter. I wanted to build up the pink one for the camera. Let's see if we'll build up this one a little bit more, see how crazy it could get. I will say it's so nice to have the mirror here. It's so practical. So what do you guys think? I'm actually surprised that they don't look even more different in person. I think they're more similar than I expected. Obviously the undertone is different. The pink one looks a little bit more pink. It doesn't look as cool tone as here, like blue base, you can see it there, but most of these colors don't pull that blue base cool tone on me. They tend to pull more warm. So on you, you may pull a little different. And then this one, I like it. I think it's something different, more unique. It kind of reminds me of a Pat McGrath blush. Let me swatch it. So the blush that I was thinking is this one right here. This is in Electric Bloom and they are similar. Let's swatch them. I think the Pat McGrath is more calm down than the Haus Labs. They're different, but I think if you fade them out, this by the way is Haus Labs, this is Pat McGrath. Let's fade them out a little bit and see how these would look. Yeah, this is much more red and bright corally. And this is a little bit more calmed down. But I'm trying to think if I have any other blush that would resemble that color. Let me look real quick. So I've been looking through all my palettes and the only one that is a little bit similar is this one from Patrick Ta. So let's swatch that. The Patrick Ta already seems much more muted, but we'll swatch them. Oh, these are more similar than I thought. So this is the Patrick Ta, and then this is Haus Labs. You can see the Haus Labs is definitely brighter, I'm sorry, deeper. But I think if we fade them out, let's fade these out a little bit. I bet they'll be you know, not the same, but kind of same vibe. Yeah, so this is Patrick Ta, and this is Haus Labs. So the Patrick Ta is in this, is this limited edition? I don't even know if you can get this anymore. In the color She's Vibrant. Oh, I actually think he came with individuals from these. But yeah, this is like the closest color I have in my entire collection. So definitely for me, this is a very unique color that I really like. I will say the pink one, it pulls a little similar like the other ones. Like I have the Dior ones here and the Too Faced. Let's swatch these. So here are the swatches: Haus Labs, Dior, and then Too Faced. So obviously Haus Labs is much more intense and brighter. Let me blend this out and see kind of, yeah, this is much more intense and also a little bit more warm, not quite as blue base as the Too Faced and the Dior. So I'll show you like this as well. You can definitely see the difference. So that's pretty much everything for these two blushes. I think they're really beautiful. I like that the colors are a little bit more different, more unique. However, I am very curious to try that mauve color. And there was another one that looked more peachy. That looked really pretty, but I wanted to be more adventurous, so I picked these. Okay, moving on to the Caliray highlighter. Now, this isn't a product that I tend to pick up a lot, like highlighters. I picked up the Rare Beauty and the Charlotte Tilbury because the Charlotte Tilbury, I review pretty much everything that she comes out with. And then the Rare Beauty, I was just kind of intrigued. And this is the Caliray. Look how pretty the packaging is. I love Caliray. I like a lot of their product. I will say it feels very light, maybe cheap. It feels a little cheap, but the packaging really is a very, very beautiful. So this highlighter retails for $30. It comes in two different shades. I picked up the first one, which is Starlight Beach. It's like a cool rose champagne. And let's see, it's hydrating, long wearing, clean, transparent base for a no ashy cast that visibly blurs pores, fine lines, and wrinkles while hydrating skin with eco squalene. So I swatched this in store and I found it very interesting. I'm gonna swatch it for you, but like it feels almost like a cream. It's so soft that it feels like a cream, but it's not. It's definitely a powder. You can see the powder, but it is so smooth and so creamy that you almost think that it's a cream. And then this is it swatched right here. Obviously it's extremely intense, and it just, there's something about it that intrigued me and I wanted to try it. Maybe I'll swatch it on this side. I will say because of the texture, I think you're gonna get a lot of kickback, so you know, just be careful with that. But let's swatch this on the hand that doesn't have all that red in there. So that is the color. I think the color is beautiful. I kind of swatched this next to the Rare Beauty highlighters that I have. And this one was a great in-between Exhilarate and Mesmerize. I'll swatch them for you. So here are some swatches. We have the Rare Beauty, Mesmerize, Caliray, and then here, that gold shift, that is Exhilarate. So I feel like the color of this one is kind of a little bit in between that. I think in person you can see it a little bit better, but I think highlighters on camera, it's very hard to show the difference because the light will just blur them out. Anyway, I will say the Caliray seems more intense and a little bit more creamy in a way. I don't know, it's a unique formula. Okay, let's try this on. So I'm gonna take this Refer number 20 and be gentle because I think this will just get crushed so easily. If you just rub in there, there will be nothing left. So let's try this on. This is a very intense highlighter. I don't even know what made me want to pick this up because I tend to not be super into intense highlighters. But the way it looked in store, it looked very intense but more smoothing. I don't love the way it goes with the blush. I think the blush is just taking over, too intense. And there's a cast there. Not loving that. Let's try it on this side. I may try to wipe a little bit of this blush or blend it in. I just feel like they don't work together. I try to calm down the blush a little bit, but let's see. That is such an intense highlighter. So on this side, because I kind of wiped a little bit of that blush, it's not quite as stripy as here. Like you can see the difference in tone quite intensely there. Here, I think it's a little softer. I'm gonna try to blend this with my finger into the blush so it'll mesh a little bit better. But yeah, I would not wear this highlighter with this blush. So I looked really up close to kind of see the texture, the highlighter, and I like the way the highlighter sits on the skin. I don't love it with the blushes. I think it's just too much highlight. The blushes are too intense for, you know, this kind of highlight. And I do like the actual look of the highlighter. It's a very intense, but it's not as almost glittery as the Rare Beauty, even though you don't see the glitter necessarily in this light, only when you go outside. In the Caliray, it's just more metallic. It's more metallic than the Rare Beauty. You see there? And I don't see any glitter in the Caliray. It's just a little bit more stronger of a highlighter, which is crazy because the Rare Beauty are so intense. So I think if you're into really intense highlighters, you may like the Caliray. I do like the color. They had a warmer color as well. So I put that on in the store and I thought the color, I could pull it off still. Because I think it doesn't have that intense base, it probably will work for different skin tones, but I keep wanting to look in here, but I kind of like the highlighter and it's just so not me. Honestly, any highlighter will emphasize texture. If you have a lot of texture, it will emphasize that. But honestly, this one does a much better job than other ones in my collection. And I just was interested because the texture is just so weird. It's extremely smooth and almost creamy, but it's definitely a powder, but it's crumbly almost. Like if I put a brush in there, I can see this completely being destroyed. So just be careful. But look at that, like metallic-y. I bet you could put this on the eyes. Okay, let's try it on the eyes. I'm gonna add it just right here in the middle. I already have highlighter on the eyes, so I don't know what it'll show up, but I kind of feel like this video has been all over the place. But my final thoughts, I like the blushes, I like the formula, I think they blended nice. The colors are extremely pigmented and bright. I kind of feel like between these two, I don't need them both. I could just do with just one because they're more similar than I expected them to be. I was just expecting this to be much more cool tone, and this like I was expecting the watermelon to look like this, but this one turned a little bit too warm on me. It's still pretty. The formula is nice. For the money, that's really up to you if you want to spend the money on a blush. If I were to choose, I would still choose Gucci. Between Haus Labs and Gucci. For me, Gucci are just my favorite, my absolute favorite powder blushes. They're matte, but there's a luminosity to them. And I think these have similar properties. Like they're still matte, but slight natural finish. There's no actual glitter in it, but I still find the Gucci to be more elegant, a little softer. But I do find that they're really beautiful. The colors are more fun, so definitely if you're interested in that. I also think the amount they give you is unnecessary. I'd rather pay less and get less product, and I don't like that the packaging is a little big. For the highlighter, this is a very intense highlighter, very beaming, very pigmented, so just be careful. I will say that you can kind of smooth it out with your finger, and it just, I feel like it smooths out really nice. You can make it more wearable. I personally kind of enjoy it. I'm excited to try it a little bit more, and I'm gonna go outside in natural light and kind of see how it looks on the skin, but I think this doesn't emphasize my texture as much as the Rare Beauty highlighters. So that's about it. The packaging does feel very cheap, I will say. This feels like drugstore. It feels light, empty, and just not a great packaging. And that is everything for today. I would love to hear your thoughts on these new products. Are you picking them up? Are you interested in them? Or are you like, been there, done that, I don't need more blushes or highlighters? I definitely don't. I truly bought these for review purposes because you guys seemed very interested in them. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Give it a thumbs up if you did, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.